I had just basically been doing line drawings of a few different animals. Again, going back to the research and the reference, that's always how you get stuff that feels believable and feels grounded. And I had been drawing for a couple days almost exclusively just insects and bats. And so doing like microscopic drawings of beetles, cockroaches, and mosquitoes and all of that stuff. And then there are some bats that just, they look alien already. When you see them, you can barely believe that they live on this planet. So I was doing some detailed images of that, and eventually you leave the reference behind and you just start like just drawing more and more things and blending some of the designs that you've seen. And that really ended up with this. If you look at some, especially they're like wrinkle-faced bats, it's pretty much a little krogan with wings. We didn't get too far. Part of the collaborative effort with the krogan was we had the guy who was actually building them was able to catch something that I had missed, where he has his eyes on the side of his head, which is really something that, from an evolutionary standpoint, only prey develops eyes on the side of their head, just in order to get the full 360-degree view of their environment. Predators, like the krogan, really are like predatorial. They're these battle beasts, essentially. Their eyes face forward, and so Tim, when building the model, was able to shift and move the eyes so that they face more forward, which works better in conversation, but also from just from a believability of the design, makes a lot more sense. The idea of a battle-hardened race that had evolved through combat, it just required a few specific things, like the idea of growing the chitinous exoskeleton, or like the hardened shells on the outside, and then just the sheer bulk of it. And there was also a process too, we're thinking that these needed to be animated on a human skeleton, so we only had so many places that we could really adjust and make them alien, which is actually why a lot of our aliens that are supposed to be sort of bigger than humans have a lot coming off the back. It's one of the safe areas that you can really play with the silhouette without getting in the way of combat animations or conversations or anything like that. The main design requirement that we had for Grunt right at the start was essentially he was supposed to be a krogan with that new car smell. He was somebody that came right out of his tube. This was like a krogan, the first one off the, or the one fresh off the line. So what we were able to do with Grunt was think backwards in terms of how they would develop. The idea of a younger krogan having his hard exoplates still kind of loose and separated, as though as they get older they get bonier and bonier and kind of fuse together into the big plates that you see the adult krogans have. So he has these kind of tendony and soft spots throughout. We did some reverse designs with older krogans where the bones have just gotten so big and protruded and thick that it would actually almost be difficult to animate believably. Grunt's armor, that was really where we got the new car design out, where it's just everything's pure white, shiny, it hasn't been in battle at all whatsoever. So plus the blue turquoise, or the turquoise lights always say fresh in Mass Effect. Yeah, so Grunt was fun.